Studio, mics are up. And Business Express is live officially. You're listening to Smooth 98.1. This is Smooth Breakfast with Folu and Valentine. And time for us to go into the world of business with Rotus guiding us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Valentine. Lagos, how are you doing?
We're good. We're very well. Lagos, join the conversation this morning. There are different avenues to do this. First is WhatsApp. You can send your message through WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. If you want to leave a comment there, the YouTube link is youtube.com/smooth981fm. On Twitter, we're at smooth981fm. Use that hashtag businessexpress981.
All right. The stock market yesterday was it was ugly. Ugly.
I mean, what's causing it.
Look, man, I don't even know. Yesterday was bad. I mean, it dropped by 3.4% yesterday. We haven't seen a drop like that since what was it, March or May of 2016, when we were still in recession. Nasty drop here. We've now the 32,292 point drop below 12 trillion. So now the value of the entire stock exchange is at 11.7 trillion naira. Only 10 stocks gained in value yesterday. 37 of them lost. The top gainer was Law Union and Rock Insurance. Also, insurance comes to the top loser. They lost 10%. I don't know. I mean, it's just, I think foreign investors are still pulling out of there's been talk yesterday on Personal Finance. We're talking about back to school spending. Lots of parents, it seems like a lot of Nigerians have been liquidating investments in order to, on the domestic side, a lot of parents have been liquidating investments in order to pay for schools and pay for new it's odd, because if you look at our oil prices jumped yesterday. It's like $78 a barrel because Mr. Oga Trump is he hates the Iranians, so his market's very jittery. And the thing is, historically, Nigeria Stock Exchange has kind of mirrored oil prices. So usually when oil prices are going up, the investors are okay, good, oil prices are going up, Nigeria is bringing in revenue while we're in the market. But there's been a separation, so things continue to drop. And funny enough, there was a gentleman yesterday, Mushud. He sent in a text asking about whether he should jump into Zenith Bank. So I now answered his question on Personal Finance in the afternoon because we couldn't get to it yesterday. I was like, look, you know what? We don't know whether there's a bottom, as in that's where the bottom of the market is. Stocks might continue to drop because Zenith Bank is at 19 naira now. This thing was at what, 33 naira or so in January. Wow. So it's dropped quite a bit. So I'm like, look, this is an entry point for you. So I now said, look, I don't know if it would drop. This was yesterday. And I said, look, you should jump in, buy in bits and pieces, naira cost averaging, where you buy in little bits, a few units here, a few units there. Just watch the market, be cautious. 19 naira range, it dropped a bit more yesterday, but it's still a good entry point for a number of stocks, like even Access Bank. Now I'm looking at a report from Stanbic, an equity report on Access Bank. They have a buy rating on Access. Access has dropped to, I think it's 8 naira. It dropped yesterday. It's now down about 25% for the year. Wow. So, but their target price is, they're saying their target price is about 10 naira, 10 or 11 naira. Yeah. I have another report from another brokerage firm that's saying that their own target for Access Bank is about 13 naira. So it's a little hard for me to be telling people, look, hop in when the market keeps tanking, because if you bought Zenith or Access at the top in January
at 32, and then
it to 19.
It's bound to have a fit.
You're not going to be happy about that.
No.
But the thing is this, look, I try to, when I talk about the stock market with people, I try to use an actual market analogy. How much are tomatoes now? A bunch of tomatoes are what, 500 naira. If you go in the market one day and tomatoes, you hear they're 200 naira, 100, you rush now. So but the issue is, will it now fall to 50 naira? So anyway, but might not be the perfect analogy, but the issue is that there's still entry points. I mean, these are still valuable stocks. The GT, that one too, is also down as well. But these are dividend stocks. So if you are long term, if you can just buy in bits and pieces now, hopefully post elections, after all the jittery feelings have come out of the market, it rise again, because that's how it goes. It ebbs and flows. It's back and forth. So I mean, that's what's going on with the markets. On to some news. Our dear Minister of Transport, Mr. Rotimi Amaechi has said, according to the Daily Trust, that the Ibadan-Kano double gauge rail is going to cost $8 billion.
Dollars, not naira.
Not naira dollar, but that's a very $8 billion. Valentine, where have we heard Lagos? Who wants to help me out? Where have we heard this $8 billion figure from? I don't know. Anyway,
it sounds very familiar.
It's very, very familiar figure, but I'm being mischievous, so you guys chill out. So anyway, the rail line is supposed to connect, go through parts from Lagos to Kano and pass through several states, including Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, Kwara, Niger State, before it gets to Kaduna. Now, the issue here is that the federal government is negotiating with guess who? The Chinese, the Chinese Exim Bank, in order to do the project. The Chinese are saying that they can't pay the billion. That is that they wanted to do like about 6 billion. Also, they want it to be a single line. So what he's saying here wants to have a single Mina to Kaduna. They don't want to connect as many states because it's less expensive to just go from Mina to Abuja than it is to now go through Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, Kwara.
Because definitely they have to build stations.
Exactly, all through that. So so they're trying to negotiate that particular line. But I'm on the side of our guys here, the federal government. They're saying like, no, look, we need this thing to pass through as many states as possible because we need rail. You know, if we want to get our trucks off the road, those trailers, we want to transport fuel and all these other things, we definitely need rail lines, and we need the rail lines to pass through as many states as possible.
And the motive behind, establishing an effective transport system is to people as possible.
Exactly.
Just, give them access to such.
Right. So that's what's going on there. So they're still trying to negotiate that. Speaking of China, we already know that Ezekwesili came out on Twitter saying that, look, this thing was a bad idea. A number of Nigerians. So please, Nigerians, everybody calm down, okay? The terms are this. So you guys take it easy. Right. So it's we need in the afternoon. But Zambia, there's reports that came out that they lost their power company to the Chinese because there was a loan they weren't able to pay back to them, as well as of course the Zambian energy minister came out and said it's not true, but a number of people have reported it. So essentially that's how China structures their loans. If they give you money for infrastructure and you can't pay for it, they'll take it back, they will own it, and you lose that asset. So apparently they lost their powers, they won power company, they lost the television station, they lost the radio station or something. State radio station in Zambia. So that's what's been making news there. So a lot of people are very, very nervous that your oil prices are high. So Nigeria.
That's the question referring to the rail system. Is it high on electricity or diesel?
Okay, I don't know if he's being sarcastic, but no, okay, they're not going to run. They're going to sure. I mean, come on now. But thank you for that message, Olatunji.
We need 24 hours light first.
Yes, for that to work. To my knowledge, these are going to be diesel
in many cases.
It's a good question though, because of course, I mean, you don't want to still be moving ahead and using facilities. Real quick, the federal government is wooing investors in the telecom sector, saying 30% off of corporate income tax to come in telecoms. This is despite what's going on with MTN. And the funniest thing, the NCC, which is the Nigerian Commission, the executive vice chairman, Professor Umar Gamba Dambata, he made this offer in South Africa. As in the investors, what was it now? It was International Telecoms Union World Telecom Day or something in Durban, South Africa. He went into South Africa to tell them that, hey, look, you telecoms people, come to Nigeria. Even as what is going on with MTN is going on right
now. Why not increase the competition?
The federal government is offering, if you're in telecom, 30% of your income, so pioneer status where you won't have to pay taxes for a while. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Very interesting stories. Now we have this message in. Please add your names to your messages so we can take them. Sam sent this one. It says, "Is the target price a 1-year view?" That's for Access Bank.
No, I think no, it's not a 1-year view. It's correct. It is a 1-year view on the stock. It's what their long term. Let me actually say that it's their long term view is going to rise through over the coming months.
All right. So Yinka says that Jew that went to make the hat statements in South Africa. When he heard, I asked how did he leave South Africa
with his head intact?
Giving that kind of news. Of course, he'll come back.
Lawson, I see your message. Lawson is saying that FPIs are being driven out of the country because of what's going on with NCN. You can make that argument as well. There's a whole lot going on in the Nigerian markets.
Remeka will see your message, but because we take that, but we'll respond appropriately. Now find Rotus on Twitter at Rotanquote, and Lagos coming up next. They'll play some coming up the first with Adekunle Gold and some others like that. Really nice tunes, and that leads us to 7:30. We'll bring you a detailed analysis of newspaper stories. It's 9:01. Good morning.
All right. Thank you.